Another Tuesday evening here on Sammy Flex TV, Showbiz Daily it is. And once again, the team is gathered to discuss some of the stories that you have been waiting to hear them talk on. Once again, thanks for always watching Showbiz Daily. Interestingly, though our time change, you guys are still the same, and that is what makes you special. You guys are so dope, man. My name is Sammy Flex. I'm doing this with a 3-man squad. Roland Amate from Shagzi, Shatter Movement Empire, Roland Report on YouTube, and RolandReport.com. I also have in team Dodo Solomon, Chemo. Chemo is our online manager here at Flex Entertainment Limited, as well as in team Dosu Digital Solutions. We are here gathered to discuss the best of stories in our showbiz space. Let me also say thanks to Theophilus Digosh, who is handling our camera for us for this production, and man like Bujulens, editor for this show. Until then, you can also talanku, enjoy, and be adding your views via the comment section. That is how we do it. Someone was asking a question about Shagzy, but I think I couldn't read also. Maybe in your free time, go and find out what the person was asking about, so you can take it from there. My first topic will be an issue not very personal to anybody in the space. Yes, indeed, it is not very personal to anybody in the space. It is just something of knowledge. We know, we see, and that is what I am bothered about. It's not personal, so if you're not careful, if I'm being crumpled, that's the bottom line. Okay, so what? Because it's not personal. It's about a brother in the industry called Funny Face. Comedian, actor, musician, in fact, everything that you can put together, called Funny Face. And we all know his story. Our industry cannot talk about not knowing the story of Funny Face. We know the story very well. The story of his issues with babies and baby mama, mental issues here and there. As we talk, looks like the man is having fresh episodes. I was telling Roland that why is it not Jupiter, but episode? He's having fresh episodes. I wanted him to have fresh Jupiter, but he's not. And I'm getting worried. And I've told you, this is not personal. But I'm getting worried. I know many on social media, based on commentaries and posts that I've been reading, they are all getting worried. As a matter of fact, they are all getting worried. As we sit here, I'm asking myself, how do we all handle this particular issue? There's a video that later the editor will make you watch, but let me come home. Chamo, how do we all handle this? I know this is really not personal, it's not about us, like, but sometimes when you look at brother also going down like that, you feel it, like, oh, why?
It's sad. The issue is multifaceted. Like there are so many angles that you have to look at. You can't just look at one side and you think everything will be okay or everything is okay.
Okay.
In his case, because it has happened before, and what happened at the time, that's why I think it is difficult to even talk about it. If you remember the media issue and some personalities having issue with the family, it's part of it. It's like nobody wants to step in or step out boldly and do anything because of what happened. And now where is the family? What are they doing about what is going on? Because clearly you can see the signs. I mean, this is not his behavior when he came back. And now he has started it again. I mean, this is so obvious. And this is not unique to him and his situation. It happens all the time. And there are some people that we can even point to that they have gone through it many times. We can even mention Abinako.
Yeah.
So this is not anything strange or anything that we say, oh, this one is different. No, it is the same thing happening again. So first of all, it's sad to see it going this way, but the where the issue is who will step in or who will step out to take care of things. That's where we are now. And I see it being difficult for people to step out or step in because of, I mean, issues that came because of the whole incidents of the family having issue with somebody like Kwaku Menu. They were thinking that he's going to use him for YouTube and other people stepping in, and they will be accused of doing something else and all that. In fact, I mean, I've seen some comments saying that Asamoah and his brother should be careful because not long ago they were more closer to him. They were trying to, I mean, help in their own way.
Okay.
But looking at what is happening, I think it's either they do more than what they are doing now, or they have to step back.
Okay.
And this is not okay. We may not hear a very good news if we just leave it like that.
Charlie. Because for the past 3 days or so, the kind of videos that he's doing, and the fact that I'm sure now some people are even scared to go closer.
Yes.
So now he's alone in there.
Yes. And it's not good like that. I mean, for me at this point, I think I will call his family to step up because they have defended or they have said things when people try to step in. So now that the thing is happening again, you have to come out or get in there and do what is needful. You can't just look at him like that. You have to. Even if you can't do it, come out, call for help before people can step in. Before now, people are thinking like, Sammy, say almost cancel here. But family member be back out, and now back out to say, okay, we want to help our brother or our sister or whatever that, and we may need help from others. So this is what you are doing. I think some people will help. Instead of us just looking at him like that, and things may not end well. For me, I don't see it going in the right direction, and somebody has to step in. Just that I will point to the family first before any other person will step in or try to help. I will call the family to do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have something to say. Maybe before Roland comes in. The other day, when what are their names? God Papa the Greatest and Empress Lupi's issue came.
Very well.
We also have Ghana Police swiftly moved in to salvage the situation.
Rambo style.
And we all commended them. Sometimes they are making me believe what some people say. They move into things that has hype and publicity around it. Because really, if the police has records of Funny Face, if they know his situation, and at this stage they are telling us they've not seen the excessive smoking and all those things, then I wonder why after 48 hours he is still doing it. Before we realize, no, dang, because the last time I said he had a gun.
I think the news says that it has been taken.
Well,
I don't want to have issue with you too.
I know. So I think that they should move in. At this stage, maybe Chemo is looking forward for the family to take over. For all you know, the thing, it has overed the family. Sometimes.
So they should call for her.
Sometimes, you see, they don't even know how to do it. Sometimes they don't even know how to do it. And I pray that someone takes charge. And some of these things we are doing, it is part of it. I pray that someone takes charge because now, bro, can be an amide.
Well, I think the angle that you came from was the same angle I was about to move to. Because
sorry about that then.
No, because you see, we live in a society whereby sometimes the security service or the police service will tell you there are certain things that you need a complainant. But in other times too, per their own discretion, they can act on it and they will have laws to back whatever move they want to do. You see, if not for anything at all, yes, we know as it stands, he has physically not harmed anybody. You understand? But the verbal abuse and everything, as far as his rants are concerned, is there. And that you can say, okay, it is probably very feeble for you to even base on to maybe apprehend him or go and pick him up. Now, what about certain alleges that he's made in the videos or in his presentation? An allege of him smoking weed. And as it stands, we know it is illegal.
Okay.
And I know if it were to be another personality, Ankaya body die. Ankaya bebo die sisia. Just they will tell you they are not there to arrest you because they don't have a confirmation, but they are there to verify whether it is true or not. And they can use causing public nuisance, causing whatever brofo that is in the books. They will blow off the dust and come and use it against you. And another one also is the Empress Lupi and the Big Papa situation. You understand? They were doing their own thing. God Papa the greatest. They were doing their own thing in their own corner.
Yes.
It was not affecting anybody. But then, because in the long run, they saw, okay, whatever action they were taking had the probability of affecting the society at large. They went straight to do whatever they had to do. And you can't tell me the state doesn't have facilities for such situations. You can't tell me. People, they are not executing it because at the end of the day, a car be that state in the so. You can't just okay, yeah, often one echo to a question. But second, by the BBC, there, more than a company will be action.
True.
BBC, more than a company will be action. In that same situation, we were here when it nearly resulted in a huge escalation on the Kaswa Road when he was driving. And we all know the outcome. As it stands, our case in anyway.
Wow.
So if you are seeing early signs as that, are we still going to wait for it to get into such situations or maybe something similar before the security service can say, okay, now we want to move in? I think that will not also be fair to even the victim himself, which is on the face. You understand? Because there were signs before that particular action. And these are similar signs. And this is somebody that has records with you. And according to how the case is going, anybody that has records with you or has a situation at hand, the person, even if the person is at home, the person is subjected to monitoring. You will tell us you are monitoring the person one way or the other, per your own brofo as investigations. So what's happening? Like, what is changing or what has changed? For the family there, I got disappointed in the family the first time that huge escalation came the other time on the Kaswa Road.
Yeah.
That was when my earlier disappointment was when the police moved in some time ago to go beat him up and pick him up and take him to the police station and all of that. And the second one was the other one, the accident on the Kaswa Road. That is when I knew that, okay, now the family themselves, it is either they are now fed up or they don't even know what to do.
True.
That is when I realized that, okay, now the family itself has just back off, like they've left the guy for good. Because I am just asking myself, see, I'm a funny face a Guinness World Record, baby. Kabu, make hers and brother sister Kunuba. But in such situations, there nobody would want to associate themselves with such situations. So now for the family, we can't count on the family like that because every action of theirs have proven that they are not involved as we speak. And they are
not in charge.
No, and they will only come when a more there. So as it stands, I can't find face near call because Echo is still doing videos.
But now it's not Echo recording.
Oh, I saw Echo move here.
Really? No, now most of the videos, if you check very well, he's recording himself.
But the recent ones that he's dropped, the last two that he's dropped on his page, are not videos that he took himself. They are not selfie videos.
Check them well.
They are videos that were taken by somebody. Unless he has a gadget that is sensor, that has sensor of tracking his movement. And such a device in controlling, we have some here in the office. It will be very difficult for him to control in that manner. Yes. So in that sense, I can clearly tell you that there is somebody behind the phone that is recording. They say, if I call her, if I say. And that's what I'm talking about. So the long and short is that there is danger ahead. There is danger ahead, and you can predict it per his own records and his own dealings. This one, it is not somebody that is speaking against him. Everybody wants help for him. Everybody, or so many people, want help for him. And at this point, he himself may not be able to consent to that help. So may need external people to consent. And the immediate one that are supposed to or are responsible for doing that is the family. Unfortunately, they've neglected. And we all know, even if everybody neglects you, the law in the country doesn't neglect you. Whether you are for it or you are against it, it will definitely come for you. So whichever way, we will now plead with the necessary authorities for them to move in quickly and do something. Else, we may not, as it stands, there are threats and so many things in there. And you can't take some of these things for granted. As much as you may have an excuse for it, some of these things you can't take it for granted. And we would plead with the necessary authorities for them to at least go in and start investigating. That's how they will call it. So I would just want to put it that way. Start investigating into things to be able to calm down. Else, this one there, as it stands, is sad and it doesn't look good.
Well, I said it is not anybody's private business. But then when you look at it on a larger scale, I'm sure one day when we all wake up to hear that news, everybody, oh. So if we want to avoid saying oh, then that energy we used to say oh, let's apply it now or never. Let's be proactive, like Roland has said. Well, it will lead us into our second topic, and Mr. Beautiful, I don't know where he goes and he decides to hide. When it is time for elections and campaign, poof, and Mr. Beautiful will pull up. In fact, once again, he's pulled up and he is talking here and there. As it stands, he has said so many things. He's leading headlines. If you check on social media, Mr. Beautiful is really leading headlines. His latest is the fact that he is accusing Agya Koo for some of the wrongs in the movie industry. Well, I would want us to watch this video, and that after watching, I'll come back and we take it from there. Let's watch this.
Agya Koo to me got na burichire. No, I catch a producers and say, "Mo be interested, no be interested me." We are aware, father, some making you know, because at a woman now be na Agya Koo. We are aware. What does he? Yeah, boy. We are aware. Only atabuaji. Mona na mu manage no. Inti se Agya Koo ti say, obi twa movie a, what's our producers on the way. What I say? Yeah. Sanyo mane koswa, ti monopoly no koswa. Around that time in America, they be hear me. Okay. That time na akrobeto akot na bridge. Around that time na me se kosi bra. Bra na edwuma na head. Kosi ba ya na me de no koma. Miracle Forms. What I say? Wo be kaya maybe issue bi by. Say Agya Koo say, Mr. Beautiful woman, me ntwa. So okay, I say me dey see. Father, okay. You know. Okay. Oh yeah, we pa. What happened? They what I say omode me buy na menini ye sikeni bre na eye hit no am Ghana am beautiful menini yes our movies na head I feel me was in mu Agya Koo say Mr. Beautiful man me ntwa we didn't here we hwa na edin what was the yeah sanka what the ne buy na say wo frɛ na na nka ye bisa no sa question we because e koso sa de no koso pa e wo kumase nti e ba na sa no na ye movie no abeye one way Woko Nigeria, a lot of stars. Yadu Mujuma. So we must send mama, ye mubinum, ye buy a mark robertum, but na mama and Agya Koo and a mama me star. And I'm an Agya Koo and ma star. Not so then why do you have to say Agya Koo so movie ma oincha? Why do you have to say that? Me yeah. What's you want a new man? I say obi na eka. No producer to me fro. Unya anyway a kasi wo but e just wo mu a e just wo ma on yentino yentumi yusu bi o sana producer ne kai koso asama me kai with my friend Jones ajemakra no bisa no. Okay.
Well, so that was an excerpt of an interview from DLFM where Mr. Beautiful was hosted by have I forgotten his name right now?
Roman father. How did I? By Roman father. I don't know if Roman father is still the manager of Dead Lumba, but the last time we checked, he was. But maybe because he's still working on DLFM, he might be. And in this interview, Mr. Beautiful has said a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Beautiful is back. It is an election year, campaign is on, and almost all his interviews, he is saying something that will bring some kind of comfort to the other side. Pay attention, you know. Beyond that, even if you overlook that, NDC and NPP, this fact that he's putting out, or this information that he's putting out, how do we also analyze it? And Roland, what's that this?
I see no substance in what he's saying.
No substance?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I see no proper substance.
He gave people that we could go ask and things.
You see, what he's saying, he was just basing it on the information that he has received, and he's using it to judge the whole situation, saying that, okay, out of that particular act is the reason why the movie industry is in shambles. And we know that it's not true. In fact, if we are even to list the factors by which, or the factors that has made the movie industry go down in Ghana, that particular one is just, it will not even amount to up to 20% or 30% of the whole situation. Because you can even bring a factor like time in this particular situation, and it will even overshadow the monopoly that he was talking about. Because time and seasons and its adjustment plays a very major role, where now times have shifted to a different dimension and people were not able to catch up. It happened in the music industry, and it happened in the movie industry. So if you would want to strike it, especially single out Agya Koo and say because of that, that is why the movie industry went I mean, yes, you may have certain information like he's saying that, oh, he's had certain encounter with the fact that, okay, he heard news and things about Agya Koo not wanting him to feature in the same movie as him. But I'm asking myself, did Agya Koo tell you himself, which is what the presenter asked him? Did you hear him say it, or did he tell you himself? You said no, somebody told you. What if the person has a problem with Agya Koo? Or what if those people that also gave you that information? Because we all know, and it is not even a rumor, about the gangs and cliques in the movie industry. It is in almost every sector of the entertainment industry. They are there. And at any point in time, any clique or any gang that would want to challenge any authority can make it look as if, okay, they can paint the person in a certain way that if you don't take care or you don't even hear from the person's side, you might also paint the person black ignorantly without you knowing the fact on board.
True.
And it is the same thing with what Mr. Beautiful is saying. Yes, he mentioned certain names of people that told him, but did you hear it from Agya Koo himself? And in terms of even the authority, yes, Agya Koo was big. And we know how, even from that side of the movie industry, when somebody is big, how they are able to influence certain conversations and decisions. But I ask myself, these are businessmen that you are also dealing with. These are businessmen, and they would also want to move with their business minds. So if somebody is giving them a certain decision, and they know that that decision will not benefit them economically, do you think they will also move with it? No. So even if Agya Koo came to tell the movie producers that don't feature Mr. Beautiful because I don't want to feature in the same movie with them, they also agreed because they also had a stake in it. So it is not only Agya Koo's fault. That is what I want him to understand. Okay. Yes, even if Agya Koo did, even if Agya Koo told them that, they also agreed because they also knew what they would gain out of that particular decision. So if he wants to blame, he should not only blame only Agya Koo. He can blame the movie producers as well, because Agya Koo is not the one funding the movie producers. The movie producers are the one paying Agya Koo for his service. And as much as Agya Koo probably may be the cash cow and the one bringing them the fat money, they also agreed. So if the movie industry is down, it is not only because of Agya Koo or the people that were playing the monopoly card. It's the situation cuts across. Everybody has a stake in it. Everybody contributed. Because Agya Koo to me in Castle, okay, oh, your movie producer now, what the Mr. Beautiful Shema Mincha. Let's check how many movie producers they had in Kumasi or even in the Kumawood section. How many? Bro. Yeah. So are you trying to tell me say Agya Koo had power over all these movie producers? What are you saying? How can you tell me the story? You understand? Yes, we know when they become big like that, they have influence. They are able to influence certain decisions, but they can't control all the industry at large. It is not possible. And you said yourself, it is Agya Koo and Ohemaa that even gave you fame or helped you in gaining popularity in the movie industry. So why would these same people come back and would want to sabotage you? And you see, and again, he's also not talking about probably certain actions from his side that probably may have warranted such actions. He's not saying it. Maybe his political affiliations could even piss somebody off and say, we don't want to feature you, or we don't want to put you in the movie. And the person may not come directly to come and tell you that, but would want to use a certain rumor that is probably hovering around to come and tell you. And we all know, confirmation bias, you believe it. You believe it that, oh, this is the situation. Yes. No, be obiso have a catch so. Yes, see it is applying to you. It is very easy if you don't investigate. You probably fall for it. And that is, I believe, what Mr. Beautiful is saying. So if I don't see any substance in the thing that he's saying, this is the reason. Because he did not give me any concrete proof as far as what he's saying is concerned. And also, even if I am to open up the conversation and bring all the factors that brought the movie industry down, this doesn't play a major role in those factors. So I would wish he comes back again to explain the reason further, because he is a top dog in the game, and such top dogs should not be pinpointing, because I believe even if you bring Agya Koo here and Agya Koo even admits that yes, he said those things, I believe Agya Koo would also have certain things to say about Mr. Beautiful, probably actions or inactions that probably may have warranted such actions also against him. So for that one, unless he's ready to say his part or the things that he also thinks he did. But as a star, so Biaka, the every man is looking good.
Yeah.
Into Bisana, he will also not say it.
Well, we are still following up on this. One day, I know Agya Koo also, knowing who Mr. Beautiful is and where he's coming from, should Agya Koo get the next interview slot, if someone should ask him, fire for fire, I know that will also come up. I just can't wait for that particular day. Well, Chamo, what do you also say about this?
Yeah, but I think Mr. Beautiful won't slow down. Slow down, cry, especially attacks on Agya Koo. As a Agya Koo in particular, no.
Agya Koo MPP.
As or the corners.
Honestly, mansion. Honestly, mansion.
Slow down.
I mean,
even if he wants us to believe him or some of the things that he's saying, then he should come clean instead of making it look so outrageous or outlandish in a way that people will start thinking about it. I mean, you can put in one or two for it to sound credible or okay, this thing, it may happen. I mean, it's normal. But the way he said things, in fact, on one Kelly Bibia after saying that Agya Koo and Ohemaa McBrown made me, and no make you know, or they helped for you to come out the way you came out. Why would they just all of a sudden, or Agya Koo in particular, all of a sudden will say that, no, I will not act with you again, or I will make sure that you go down? I mean, that's strange. So when you say something like that, without giving more details, then we will begin to doubt you. So he should be careful the way he is saying things. And again, Agya Koo, even some people are also accusing producers of taking Agya Koo out of the business.
Okay.
So how come? Like, come on, come again, because yes, it is normal, or we have heard it before, or we have seen it before. When an entertainer or an actor or musician, whoever, get to a certain point, they have influence, and sometimes they demand certain things that ordinary or normal actor or entertainer cannot. And some people will not be happy with such demands. So they will talk about the person in a negative way, or in a way that they think the person is asking for too much. Okay. But the thing is, those things can never collapse a business. Those things that those people demand for, it can never collapse a business, because the businessmen will always weigh whether the demand will affect their business or not. So if Agya Koo says that, say, me by acting a money, Mr. Beautiful by Minya, businessmen, they are not stupid.
Yeah.
Don't make it look like at the time they were stupid to just follow Agya Koo so that their business will collapse. No. So you can't just then conclude that it is because of Agya Koo that you don't have that business anymore, or Agya Koo help in collapsing the movie industry. No, that can't be true. And that behavior, no, even what would defeat what he's saying is the fact that even at the time that Agya Koo was not so influential in the industry was still going on.
True.
After Agya Koo, we had Lewin.
Dr. Like.
And then after Lewin, now is Dr. Likey. So the industry is not dead, or is not, even at the time that it wasn't vibrant the way that you want us to look at it. You know, we had some people who had influence. Apart from Agya Koo, the point is that Agya Koo can demand so much that people will be fed up and then put him aside. And I can say it's part of the reason why at a point he wasn't so influential in the space, because he was asking for more, and then they got an alternative. And it happens in business. Or sometimes you can concentrate on one thing and the new thing will come. You will not even realize that, no, there's a new thing for me to follow. So before you realize, you don't have business. Meanwhile, you have not done anything wrong. You are just following your business. It has happened to big corporations. Yeah, Nokia is a good example.
It's an example, yeah.
Yes. So I think Mr. Beautiful should be careful the way he goes about talking, especially about Agya Koo. I don't think it's fair to Agya Koo. And again, it is not even good for people to, the way people accept whatever you are saying. Like, the loopholes are too much. Again, he mentioned Acrobato. Acrobato, I think he has said it before that is a producer, one, I think Miracle Films, advised him not to act with Agya Koo. Because at that point, Agya Koo was so big that if you act with him, he will by all means outshine you.
Yeah.
So you won't get the kind of influence you want to get in the space. It wasn't for any diabolical reason. It was more strategic for him to also come out. And so after that, then you will come out and say that, oh, it's because Agya Koo didn't want to act with him. Nah, I mean, come on. That's not fair. So Mr. Beautiful, I think he can do better than what is happening now. I disagree with the things that he's saying, and I will advise him to stop. It will not help him or anybody.
Well, that is what we have to pick from the two, Chemo and Roland Amate, on Mr. Beautiful versus Agya Koo saga. Now we are wrapping up, and I would want us to wrap up with a divorce from God. Allah. Allah. You want to see the video from TV3, Ohemaa Mercy versus Cookie T? Well, check it out. But let me go to Chemo. I know we have an idea of this already. Chemo, I hope you have an idea of this already.
I have an idea, but I wish I
You still want to watch it? Okay, let's go watch the video. I'll be back.
I'm divorced, yes. But this is the time I've seen the hand of God so strong on my life.
Even more than when you were married?
Even more than. So I was actually depending on man.
So you had the confirmation from God,
of course,
that this is it and it's over.
Come in. And when I spoke to my partner too, he also understood that we have to do this. And then pray and see what the Lord will do.
So you initiated the conversation of the divorce?
Of course.
What were your first few words? What did you say?
I really want us to have a break.
Okay.
And then I need to run with the ministry. And I know that is your passion for me.
Okay.
Let me run with it. Let's take care of the kids and help each other. If I'm going through something, we talk about it. Let's take care of the kids. And then I don't want to fail God, because it's like I'm
failing God by staying in the marriage.
So I actually have to sit down with him, and then we had a cordial conversation, And for him, he's very, very mature.
So it's been very cordial.
Very, very up to
You
now.
guys speak every
We
day.
speak every
You're
day.
co-parenting.
Very, very.
Like you said in the beginning, there's so much that we need to talk about. I don't even know which one.
But I want to advise everyone. If you're a woman and you are going through divorce, your partner is not your enemy. Oh yes. Because of the kids, you have a covenant. So I actually have to allow God to lead me through this. So that it will be another phase for every woman to emulate. That if you are going through battles in your marriage and it comes to the point of you going through a divorce, understand that you can never be enemies. You have to help each other because of the kids.
It's not even profitable.
It's not.
When God took you through the transition of your marriage to the point where it broke, everyone was talking.
Yes.
Everybody was talking.
Yeah.
Look, at the time I lived in a particular place in Sakumono.
I know.
So I knew the beautiful house that you had built.
Yes.
In fact, in that area, your house was actually the name of that area.
Of course.
Because the house
Ohemaa
was
Mercy Street.
Exactly,
And it's
Ohemaa Mercy Street.
It's still the Ohemaa
Yes.
Mercy Street.
Beautiful greenhouse.
Yes.
Exquisite. When God took you through that transition, how did you feel?
I remember when I was going through that, I said to myself, devil, I've given you a rope. Make sure you're able to pull it well. Because I'm pulling it with you in heaven. If I'm able to pull this rope to my side and I win this battle, we are in trouble.
Hallelujah. God's direction comes in different forms and ways. If you think God's direction will be only for what you consider as good, it's a lie. In fact, I'm praying to God. There's one guy I want to really beat. I'm praying to God to give him direction. If God tells me to go and beat that guy, I'll give them. I'll give the devil a rope. I said, devil,
Take this rope.
take this rope and pull with me.
If you
If you don't win and I win, the guy is dead. So, direction from God. We are closing. Summary.
That one is bogus.
Which one is bogus?
Direction from God.
Oh, how?
Bogus. Say, Omu Oja Wareache. About 4 years now. And at that time, no, she didn't say a direction from God.
Nobody asked her, I beg you.
And okay, again, there were a lot of reports or allegations and other stuff detailing why they are no more there. And you know, I mean, I'm surprised that Kukuti didn't even push her on that tangent.
Maybe she didn't have that information.
Well, I mean, for me, I think she had it. She just wanted to
Be diplomatic, okay.
Yeah, help her to push whatever that she wanted to say.
Okay.
That's why she's saying that. I mean, divorce direction from God, I mean, is bogus. When you go back and listen to the allegations at that time or some of the details at that time, it will clearly tells you that yes, I mean, there's nothing strange about her leaving the home. Because I remember Agya Koo did a video saying that the husband was having an affair with her backing vocalists or backing singers, some of them.
I see.
And it didn't happen once. In fact, at the point that she left home, it was about 2 days to her main concert. And then she saw her husband having an affair with one of her assistants. That's the allegation at that time. So if you leave, I mean, what is strange about this? And then later you got confirmation from God that the way your husband is assisting your assistant, you have to leave him. I mean,
but Chemo, why do you want to believe Agya Koo's account more than her account?
I'm not believing Agya Koo's account. But you see, at that time, it was reasonable for you to leave your marriage if you go by that allegations.
Okay.
But for you to later come out and say that you got confirmation from God, so it was based on what for God to tell you to leave your husband. That's the issue.
God wanted to use her more, like she's being used now.
So God can only use people who are not married. Is that what she's trying to tell us? I mean, no matter the angle that you want to take it, there are so many issues. I mean, in the same Bible that she's using for her decision or her inactions at this point, the same Bible also talks against divorce and other stuff. So she shouldn't go that direction. I think she has done well not to talk about it till now. So for me, I think the best strategy for her was to still keep quiet and tell Kukuti that yes, I'm divorced, but I'm not ready to share any details. So let's talk about something else, or I don't think it will help the cause or whatever. In fact, she should even for somebody like her, she can even negotiate before doing the interview and tell them that I don't want you to say anything about my divorce. If you go that direction, I stop the interview. And you can do that. You can do that negotiation before you even sit down. But for you to go there and claim that God gave you directions or direction to divorce your husband without your husband committing any offense, because she didn't say that the husband did anything wrong.
Yeah.
So God will just tell you to just leave your husband to have broken home, which may even lead to worse things, because your children may not have proper care now. They may not have good guidance because you are not at home. Only the man is taking care of them, or you are the come on. I'm really surprised at God for giving such a direction. I think God should come out, or God should appoint a PRO or something to also come
and defend
or say something for us to be sure that what Ohemaa Mercy is saying, we have to just believe her. Because the way that we see marriage, in fact, even in Bible, for us to hear that God is even directing some people to leave their marriages, God should come again. I mean, we need to hear from him if indeed what Mercy is saying is true.
Well, matters arising. Ohemaa Mercy, one of my favorite gospel artists, though, great performer and all that. But at the moment, it looks like what is happening is really a thing of concern. And until we are all able to hear the side of God as to why God, but I also want to argue small. God's direction might not be only positive. God's direction might not be only positive. There are days that some God's actions have come out to be negative.
Of course.
Like,
Oh, when those times when you sin, they open the floor, you enter.
Even the covenant, like the Apamadakan, when they were traveling, the people of God were traveling, and the ark of God was about to fall. Somebody decided to help.
Unclean.
To help.
Yes.
And God gave him.
but but those things are not negative. The thing is, if you act wrongly, you get your punishment. And the example that you are giving is somebody getting punishment. It's not wrong, even in our day-to-day activities. If you do anything wrong, you get your punishment. So unless she's telling us that the husband did something wrong, but she's not ready to say it, then yes, you take it like that.
Okay, I think Chemo is God's PRO at the moment.
Yes.
He was waiting for God to ask or not this year.
Well, we'll close the show. Our time is up. Quick one.
I tell God already, this one must fall.
So go.
They say, you see, it's a very interesting conversation. In fact, for me, in the morning when I posted this, the response that she gave, I think she's lying to make God look good.
Of course.
I was like,
sometimes you have to make your God look good.
Yeah. You see, it's very interesting. And me, when I watched the video, I was asking myself so many questions. Hey, so the doctors that we are running to when we are sick, now the doctors are even getting sick and they are telling us that, Charlie, when you get sick, you can choose to die. Die and let's go. That's what it means. If there are people of the world, quote and unquote, would want to run to when they have difficulties in their marital or their marriages or relationships, these are people that we would want to emulate. These are people that we would want to look up to. these are people that we would want to consult for solutions. But these same people are telling us today that, okay, God can tell you that divorce end. As it stands, me, yes, I chanced on one of her interviews, even on Power, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when she was saying that at a point, even some of her husband's comments were even pissing her off. To the extent that one time her husband even commented on her costume when she was about to go for a program or something. And that even pissed her off, and she was having intentions or ideas of filing for divorce and whatever. So I'm asking myself, okay, so now that this huge woman of God is telling us that God told her to divorce and co-parent for her to be able to continue her administration, then we should leave medical and fella alone. Then we should leave medical and fella alone. Or people who would want to divorce and say we want to co-parent. Because in that instance, so many people who go against such people like medical and fella and other people in that same vein, go with them with these kind of people as examples to go lash them. Now the practice is even going into that direction. And some of us, we are getting scared. Some of us that we are yet to marry or we are not married yet, we are getting scared. Of course. Now we are asking ourselves so many questions. Okay, so can our wives, who probably may be so much into church activities, maybe so much into Christianity stuff, wake up one day and tell you that God says I should divorce you? Meanwhile, you have intentions of keeping the marriage. You have intentions of, okay, doing so. Because me, I want to base her current submission and say her husband did not do anything. Because even in her own words, so when she went to her husband is a very matured man and understood whatever she was presenting. So me, I'm asking myself, okay, so will I wake up one day and my wife will come and tell me, Charlie, I received a direction from God, and God says, before I will be able to do her work properly, I need to divorce you. Meanwhile, I am also a man that needs the support of my wife in order to raise the family. And at that point, how would I feel? What would I do? And it is not from the early stage for you to say, okay, you have some time to even arrange yourself for the future. This is somebody that you've grown with. I saw her picture of a wedding picture of hers. She married in the 90s. Oh.
Wow.
In the 90s.
Wow.
So you can imagine how long it has been. In the 90s, see me who picture black and white.
Wow.
So you can just imagine. You understand? And at this point, somebody will say, oh, when they've seen lots of things in their marriage life. So right now when they divorce, and but you don't know when somebody would need you properly in their marriage journey. You don't know. Life has so many uncertainties. So some people may see it as okay, a normal. Now divorce cases are normal in our eyes, but some of us, it makes us get scared because these are same institutions that society would want to push you into. If not your own institution, society would even want to fix you somewhere in terms of marriage. And you would want to, okay, as human who also lives in a society, would want to conform to it. But when you hear news like this, and especially in a place where you think you would want to run to seek refuge, as a then at this point, the likes of A+ more advice, any brother Sammy more advice.
It is becoming stronger.
Now applying it will be the only solution because if I am going to get married, and in the next 5 years, 10 years, my wife is going to wake up and tell me that I have a direction from God and God says we should divorce. What is the difference between that, catching somebody, impregnating and having children so we co-parent? What is the difference? There is no difference. Because at the end of the day, if it's about taking care of the children, since we both agree that they are our responsibility and we want to take care of them, we can co-parent and do it, whether from close or from afar. So what is the difference in that? So I wish some of these things will be said under toes, like will be said behind closed doors. But sometimes some of us also need some of these examples to come to light.
Yeah.
So we can be able to use them as advice. Just like my leader said, oh yeah, papa, ye na ye tufu, it mean we tufu. Oh ye dibwana so ye. So that if somebody would want an advice from it,
they can use
it. But in situations like this, it is very unfortunate, especially coming from that direction there. And when you to some of us.
This is how we end today's edition of Showbiz Daily. And at this stage, the rest is up to you to also add your views, opinions, and what have views to the stories and the topics that we've treated today. My name is Sammy Flex. I did this with Roland Amate and Intimdo Solomon on screen, and off screen, I did this with Theophilus Digos as well as Buju Lens. Until then, subscribe to us and share with people. Tell them that this is where one of the deepest conversations in the arts happens. It is called Sammy Flex TV's Showbiz Daily. We are out of here. Bye-bye.